Welcome to episode 5 of Dimensions MOCs, introducing the Red Brigade prison transport. So, let's go over some of the minifigs we have here. So all of these are custom builds to an extent. I will say these motorcycles here, you might recognize them from, it was like a giant Batmobile. I basically took the 3 wheels off of those and was like, this would make a good motorcycle. I say that if I did that intentionally. The whole thing broke apart, but I saw these wheels and I was like, that'll make a pretty interesting motorcycle design. So you've got that here. But yeah, so speaking of which, you've got one soldier here who will ride alongside the convoy. So as this transport's going, you'll have like 2 of these motorcycles that are sort of flanking it, also to make sure no one like drives up next to it and tries to like blow a hole in it and get their friends out of jail. But yeah, so for some context here, these are the villains of the story. So the villains of the story are the Phantom Empire. Their military is called the Red Brigade. This specific division is called the Black Star Brigade, the ones who wear these black shiny helmets here. So this is one of the soldiers. So I know lots to remember, but all you need to know is these guys are the bad guys. And for the Red Brigade, the R stands for Red Brigade, obviously. And yeah, that's all the lore you need to know for this video. Outside of that, we've got a cool mech here that I ended up custom building. So I don't know what the tail is here for, really. I just sort of thought it'd be cool to, I don't know, someone comes up from behind and just like whack him with the tail. But outside of that, yeah, he's got 2 guns on each hand. He's got giant boots so he can stomp through. I had this thing when I was designing a lot of these bosses where I would think, oh, if it was a video game, how would they like get defeated? And I would always make weak points. So the weak point here is kind of the legs here, where it's like if you, I don't know, if you hit it right in the knee, it's just gonna fully topple over. So, you know, just don't do that. I mean, obviously, if you have to, you know, I guess you can beat him up to save your life, you know, I suppose. But yeah, so that's him. He's got the 2 antennas on the back, all the good things that a giant evil mech would need to do. And of course, a pilot with the cool suit as well. So yep, that is him. As for some other minifigures here, this is one of the administrators for the prison transport. So this character, she doesn't usually ride with them, but if it's an important person that's being transported from like one prison to another, she'll like ride along just to make sure everything's going correctly and no one's like secretly trying to break them out or whatever else. So sometimes she'll personally handle the prison transfers if it's a high value target being transported. Let's see some of the other motorcycles we have here. Totally not Batmobile wheels. So you've got this guy right here who, you know, he has a cane here, but he's still riding this here. So he injured his leg in a battle, but you know, he's got the cane here, and he does not let his injury stop him from still being a terrible villainous person transporting hero characters that were captured in battle. But yeah, you've got this third sort of snake guy here. These guys are part of a military group, but the group they're a part of, it's more of a, how do I put it? Like guns for hire, basically. So they don't specifically work for the Phantom Empire. More so, they were just kind of hired for this job. So typically, when they're transporting something or someone, they'll hire like other groups just to help protect the convoy. And once they get the convoy to where it needs to go, they get paid. So that's pretty cool there. Let's see some other guys. These 2 are Red Brigade operatives, so I'll back these guys up a little bit here. But yeah, so operatives, very similar to the other guys. They are guns for hire, but operatives specifically usually have like a specific thing. They either have magic with them or some sort of quirk. So for this guy, he basically has what's called low gravity syndrome, because I haven't thought of a better name for it. But essentially, it's like he's walking on the moon wherever he goes. Like wherever he goes, he just has a different gravity level that allows him to like high jump and everything else, or just sort of operate on a different level. So yeah, that's what he has. So we can basically just like jump up super high without a sword and fight you if you decide to, you know, fight him. And you've also got this guy called the Pioneer. And what was it? This guy here, he has these 2 battle axes, and his main thing is he's able to sort of manipulate time around him. Now, he was going to call himself the Traveler, but if you've been following on the Creating Character series, you'll know that there already is a character called the Traveler, so he went with the next best thing, the Pioneer, because of his sort of pioneer-like hat that he has. I think it's, I don't know, the hat looks like a pioneer would wear it. I have to look up what hats pioneers wear. But yeah, so that is, you know, oh, I should say, this is a sort of boat thing that my sister ended up creating. I say boat thing, I don't remember exactly what it's supposed to be, but it looks like a boat. It's got the pretty cool propeller on the back, so I'm going to call it boat thing professionally. And yeah, it can float in the water, but also it can go really fast on land too, all those good things. And yeah, it's also here to help. So now that we've gone through all the good things here, we're going to finally attack the main thing that you saw on the thumbnail, the giant Red Brigade military transport and all that good stuff. So you've got the soldiers here, you've seen the captain guy who's on top, he's got the giant sword here in case someone decides to jump at him with a lightsaber. He's like, well, my lightsaber is bigger, so what are you gonna do now? We got this assistant person who's there to, you know, help out, and also he has a giant turret, so granted no one's standing around him, he can just spin around and shoot to his heart's content. There's this mage guy here who can create a shield around the prison transport to make sure no one like attacks them from above or just fireballs a hole into their walls. Let's see, you've got this character who was actually introduced in season 1 of creating characters, the Crimson Crusader. So yep, you've got him on there, another operative. You've got this sort of mercenary character here who's, you know, also here to help. A lot of people go into this, especially if it's a high value target. They'll typically hire whoever they can. You've got this sort of murder Terminator like droid who's also here to help. Lots of cool people there. Now let's get into this part. Now, if you watch the other episodes, you'll know that whenever I take the roof off something, everything goes terribly wrong. But with this vehicle, I designed it to be able to be taken off because I built these 4 tabs on there. So it can easily be put on, and when I need to take it off, bam, I just grab these 2, comes off cleanly, perfectly good to go. Nothing against the other builds, but I just wanted to mention that I thought ahead with this one. So yeah, let's see if we can look inside. My. If you look inside here, you will see, move that out the way, you'll see quite a lot. Might be too dark. Well, see if you can see inside, I'll tell you. So this is one of the captains. This is an inspector person. That's a general. So basically just a war room in here. They have on the dashboard here, like a map of where they're going, if you can see that. You know, we've got all the important people are up front. Let's see. This is where the prisoners are. If we can unattach this, oh good lord. You know what? We're just gonna do this. Bam. Inside the prison transport. So here you can see plenty of space to have people sitting down. No seatbelts because you know they're evil and don't care about safety. How could they? Move this out the way. But yeah, you can see plenty of space for people to sit down in handcuffs. You've got some droids in here as well to monitor the prisoners. And there should be a guard right here, if you can see. A guard here, a guard right there. You know, well guarded as a prison transport should be, naturally. And yeah, that is just about it. So heavily armored, and of course, I say that as, you know, there's holes in here. So to be fair, I didn't have all the pieces I would have wanted to in building this, so this is much more of a prototype. But either way, it is magically shielded, and characters who have magic inside, their magic is disabled from the inside. So you know, it works out. You know, they're all right. But yeah, that is about it. Certainly a longer video, but also a lot more things to show off. And yeah, one of the episodes that was my favorite because I spent a lot of time on these guys here. And the prison transport and the story and everything else. So here I'm gonna try and put this back together. So yes, the roof did come apart, fair enough, but this is the only part that came apart. And bam, it's easily fixable and goes right back there. So you know, it's not as awful, I will say. And put everything, now everything wants to go wrong. I gotta fix this because it's firing now. And we'll just recap as we put everything back together. Yeah, this has been a really fun build, I would say. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, any improvement ideas y'all might have, because this build is most certainly showing up in some upcoming projects, because it's just, even the way it moves. After I finish building it, I'll show you how it moves around, but like, yeah, it moves like a tank, it's armored like a tank, and it's also durable, just like that. All right, you can go higher, bam. The characters fly off, but the vehicle's intact. Like, it's really good, I would say. Let me see, one of my better builds. Of course, the design is, you know, clanky here and there, but in terms of practicality, I'd say it serves a purpose. It's got a gun here, by the way. It's got a gun back here, in case you didn't see, so we can look at the back of this. Let me see. And look, it looks like a prison now because, bam, it's got the prison doors to let you know that. So, see, what else do you need? Clearly not a roof. All right. And then this is another side of it. And then we're going to go back to the front. Let me see. Quickly rebuild the rest of this. But, yeah, that's just about it. So I'll talk a bit more about the people they work for, the Phantom Empire. Yeah, their main goal, they don't like people with magic, even though they do hire people who happen to have magic, but that's because they want to use the magic users that like them to get rid of the magic users who don't like them. And of course, these magic users are more so kind of sellouts. They're just kind of there for the money, or because they believe in it too. Sometimes it's for cult reasons, other times they like money. Either way, they're not generally good people, you know? They don't want to leave magic users alone. They're like, they're dangerous, and then proceed to show them how dangerous they are by showing up with tanks and giant guns and weapons of mass destruction and black hole bombs, oh my, you know, just to show them how dangerous they are, as they proceed to invent new ways to produce mass destruction and all that. So, you know, great group of guys, obviously, as you can tell by the character design. Oh my good lord. So yep, another classic case of, you know, villains who want to be like, oh, we're the heroes. Well, no, but you know, that's for the story to tell them that, you know, they're not as great of people as they would hope themselves to be. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Definitely a longer one, but definitely a bigger one. Had multiple builds here and there. And yeah, we've got 3 more episodes left of the series. A special video coming out, I believe January 31st. And then yeah, February 1st will be the release day of Dimensions Creating Character Season 3. So yeah, limited series here, but if you like what you saw, let me know. And we could definitely do something like this again where I can show off more custom builds here and there that my sister and I have made. And yeah, we would love to show you more of our world. Just let us know which parts you'd like to see, I suppose. Yep, let me see. We'll get that guy back on there. Almost done. I'm treating this like a creating characters episode where everything has to be built before we end the episode, but no, I'm just gonna finish putting this on, give some final parting thoughts. Let's see. No, I guess that's about it. Just put this. See, look at this guy. I put him on the wrong thing. There's nowhere to put his king. He's gonna fall right through. That's gonna be really unfortunate for him. But we fixed it by putting him here. This guy's lost his hair. Is that hair? Well, snake thingy. That's the professional term we're gonna go with. Let's see what else. Oh, let me see. This dude goes here. I remember that part. This, I guess not. This guy goes here. Let's see. We'll put the sword back. Should go right there. And stay on this time. See, the minifigures were the issue. If there were no minifigures, then this build will not fall apart as much. You'd have to admit. So in a way, it's still my fault, but in a different way, which is an important distinction because, you know, it is. But yeah, we're gonna put that there. All right, everything is back to how it was. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and of course, we're gonna show you how it moves, just like this. Yeah, we don't need him. Look at that. Bam. Perfect moving. We're not going to drop it again because of minifigures, but I showed you all the tests before. Drops beautifully, lands beautifully, and of course captures hero characters beautifully. A random piece did just fly off, but it doesn't count because I don't know where it went. So for all we know, it just spawned out of nowhere. Never mind, I found where it is. Well, so much for that theory. But yeah, it moves just like that. We're going to go ahead and put this back. We've got the motorcycles flanking it from the left. You've got, that's the right. Well, it's left. So there you go. You've got the other people on the right and vice versa. I'll put this guy over here because this is a bigger vehicle. You've got her in the front are just supervising the transport to make sure everything's good. And of course, you've got the giant mech in case someone else with the giant mech comes along. He's like, well, you got to fight me first. And then, you know, they just take him off at the knees and there you go. But yeah, that's everyone. That's the Red Brigade Prison Transport. Thank y'all for watching. As always, have a great rest of your day.